You've probably spent a few evenings scrolling through endless subwoofer specs, wondering whether any of them will actually give you that punchy, clean low end you hear in the movies, without turning your daily drive into a rolling sound lab. What you really need is something that's reliable, easy to live with, and worth every dollar you spend, not just a list of watts and cone sizes that sound impressive on paper. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When you're thinking about a new sub, the first hesitation most of us feel is, will this actually work in my car? You've got a budget, a space limitation, maybe a modest amp already installed, and the last thing you want is a pricey component that either sits unused or ends up blowing a fuse. The risk of buying the wrong thing isn't just about wasted money, it can mean a frustrating installation night, a sub that rattles the interior, or worse, a damaged amplifier. That's why I spent a few hours reading through the few reviews that are out there, checking the manufacturer's datasheet, and looking at how this sub fits into a realistic car audio setup before I even thought about the headline numbers. Let's talk about the category for a second. In the world of car audio, a subwoofer's job is simple on paper: convert electrical energy into low-frequency air movement. In practice, that means you have to consider power handling, impedance, enclosure type, cooling, and how the sub interacts with the rest of your system. A 15-inch driver can deliver deep, resonant bass, but it also needs a well-designed box to control the cone's motion, an amp that can handle the low impedance, and enough airflow to keep temperatures in check during long sessions. The real-world value of a sub isn't just the RMS rating, it's how well the whole package works together in everyday use. The Cerwin Vega Stroker Pro Classic is a 15-inch, 1200-watt RMS subwoofer that runs at 2 ohms. Cerwin Vega leans on its advanced cooling technology and an adjustable Xmax feature to promise both power and control. In a typical setup, you'd pair this with a solid 2-ohm capable amplifier, a properly sized sealed or ported enclosure, and a decent power distribution block. If you've already got a 1000-watt amp that can run a 2-ohm load, the Stroker Pro can slot in without forcing you to upgrade your powertrain. The adjustable Xmax lets you dial back the cone's travel if you're driving around town and just want a subtle thump, then open it up for a weekend car meet where you're looking to fill the lot with that low-end rumble. Who should buy this? If you're a bass enthusiast who spends time at shows, tailgate parties, or simply loves that chest-vibrating feel on highway cruises, the Stroker Pro gives you the headroom to crank volume without instantly hitting distortion. The advanced cooling means the driver can stay hot for longer stretches, which is a real advantage when you're running tracks or long playlists at high levels. Its 15-inch size delivers the deep, room-filling bass that smaller cones struggle to produce, and the durability claim means you won't have to worry about the cone tearing after a few months of aggressive use. In short, if you already have a robust amp, space for a large box, and you're comfortable running a 2-ohm load, this sub can be a solid centerpiece for a high-output system. Who should skip it? First, anyone who's just looking for a modest upgrade to enjoy music while commuting should think twice. The power requirements and the need for a proper enclosure can turn a simple plug-and-play upgrade into a weekend project. If you have a compact sedan with limited trunk space, fitting a 15-inch driver plus a sturdy enclosure might be a compromise you're not willing to make. Also, if your current amp is only rated for 4-ohm loads or you're on a tight budget for the whole system, the extra cost of a compatible amp and a custom box could outweigh the benefit of the extra wattage. Finally, if you're sensitive to extremely loud bass or you're the type who prefers clean mids and highs over deep low end, a sub that can push 1200 watts may end up being more of a headache than a joy. Now, let's break down the practical strengths. The Unrivaled performance claim mainly rests on that 1200-watt RMS rating. In real life, you'll notice a significant difference when you compare this to a 300-watt 12-inch sub on the same amp. The Stroker Pro will keep its composure at higher SPLs, delivering a smoother, more controlled bass surge rather than a strained squeal. The adjustable Xmax is actually useful. You can set the limit to prevent the